Hey, all right, magic.
See what happens when you pay your bill, huh?
I guess so.
Incredible.
Deal. All right, so good evening, everybody. Sorry for the little bit of a late delay. I'm glad we've got the info running on this now. It's 6:39, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. Normally Dana would be here to take notes, but she's not. So you're unfortunately, I think, stuck with me unless somebody else wants to jump up and down and volunteer to take notes.
Bob's a good secretary.
Dan, did you just volunteer to take notes?
You know what? It's the Christmas season. I'm in a good space. I'll take notes tonight.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm a man of many talents, and that's just not one of them. So I'm very grateful for you taking that on. Thank you.
You got it.
Cool. All right. So first things first, Dana sends her apologies. We have 3 members not here tonight, Rachel, Dana, and Ed, for different reasons. Looking at the minutes from November 10th, Dana was kind enough to send them out in advance. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
All right. Chris makes a motion. Can I get a second? Dan makes the second. Is there any discussion on it?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor? All right. Raise your hand if you're on screen. I don't think there's anybody who's not on screen. So good deal. Thank you very much. Just a quick question. I've got a 401 number here, 625.
That's
Is
town
that
hall.
What's
That's
that?
town hall, I believe.
That's
That's
Rick
town
Rogers. I believe that's Rick Rogers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I know it's a town number.
Yes, that's Rick Rogers,
Rick,
DPW.
there you go.
Okay. Hey,
There you
Rick.
go.
Gotcha. I've got a camera in one place and a phone in another, so good to check. Figured you probably couldn't got it in here without the link anyway, so all good. All right. Rachel is not on the call, but there's really been no activity from a treasurer standpoint, so there's nothing for us to report on in that space, so no treasurer's report. Sarah is also not with us. Again, there's also really been no activity from a recreation standpoint, so there's not a recreation report on activity. Only note on my end is that we had looked into doing the tree lighting, and thank you, Chris Romlin, for trying to help pull that together. After speaking with the chief, he decided it was just not feasible to handle that and account for the governor's mandate. So we had to unfortunately pull the plug on moving forward with that, but for very good reasons. So
Yeah, it was unfortunate. It's one event you like to always do every year, and if there's none other, but you know, we're past that. We're into next year now, right?
absolutely, we'll come back bigger and better next year. The tree looks great. So I want to thank Joe for helping ensure that Nancy Mello's last official act was, I think it was to light the tree.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Awesome.
good call on that. I did not receive any comments from anybody for tonight, so we're going to bypass that item. And then into sort of general business and partner working groups. Dan, I don't know if you've had a chance to speak with Rachel all about summer camp. I know she's been applying vaccines right now, so a little preoccupied for good reasons.
Yeah, she's been super busy, so we haven't connected yet, but we're gonna text at some point, hopefully the next couple of days.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I think in speaking with Chris and a few others, we want to try and figure out our process and pricing for summer camp sometime in the next 30 days, just to make sure that we're ready to put that in front of the town council for approval on our own program. So 30-second town farm renovation committee update is that Josh Carreau, who's the vice chair of that committee, has done an incredible amount of work. We are down to the point where we have a contract, I think, ready for final review before executing on with Compan, who's doing the playground and then the outdoor fitness area. So we're going to do a final review on that, and it'll either be right before the end of the year, right after the beginning of the year, somewhere in there, pending final review by Chris Cotta, and just making sure we're not missing anything in there. But really optimistic, feeling like we're going to be able to break ground shortly after the new year, and or when appropriate and not freezing, and definitely looking forward to bringing it together and having it, fingers crossed, by next summer. That's what I've been told by Compan. So we're we're optimistic in that space.
So if you have a draft that I can get before our solicitor, just so I can look over the boilerplate language.
Yep.
So if he has anything he wants to add to it, let me get a copy of that so I can get working on that part too.
You got it. I will send an email over either later on tonight or
Okay.
tomorrow for
No problem.
for your chance. Cool. Mr. Paul, how are you?
I am swell. How are you guys?
Living the dream.
You can hear me right?
So you want to give us a dog park committee update? You guys have been busy.
Yes. I mean, to back up a little bit before the current thing, the survey itself has actually been delayed. The gentleman that's doing the survey, there was some COVID scares there. And then his partner, he was going to have come with him to do the survey, had some COVID issues in the family. So the survey itself has been delayed, but that's gonna get done. That's a matter of a couple hours. Once the survey's done, that from that point there, we'll just go to DPW with it and show them the boundaries that the survey has produced and all that fun stuff. As to the holiday light contest that just wrapped up, the winners are actually getting their prize packages as we speak. We had about 14 participants with that. I don't have a tally as of yet, but that was all run by a woman that stepped up to volunteer and run the contest for the dog park committee with our help. So it didn't, I don't think it raised a ton of money, but it did actually spur a ton of publicity. And we've been getting a whole bunch of donations as an offshoot from the publicity of this. So we have every intention at this point of breaking ground in April. So
Nice.
Very cool. Is there anything in particular that you need from the rec commission? Anything we can help with? You guys good?
no, nothing yet. If I think of something, I know your digits.
Very cool. Right.
Awesome.
So, is there a comment? All right. Cool. So moving into new business, there's 2 items on here. I will circulate the beach contest design stuff. I apologize. Basically we're using the same documentation from 2019 for 2020. My intent is just to use the same stuff, same contest. And really what I wanted to ask this group is if anybody has an issue with us doing a different color for the parking pass. We did blue last year, figured maybe red this year. Just makes it easier for the gate attendants to see. I mean, there's no science behind this. So unless somebody feels really strongly about a color.
No, we usually change it every year, Stu, anyway, just so we don't have a conflict, people saying they got one already and it's last year's, but so we usually change the color every year anyway.
Cool. So anybody object to red?
Nope.
Nope. All right, cool. Red it is. I will send those around just to sort of one last review, make sure nobody's got any issues, and then we'll be good to go. I'm going to connect with the schools. We'll take the same approach we did before and get that out the door. So that'll go out shortly after the first of the year, and we'll probably have the main parking pass set for the same one we've been doing. I know that there was a bit of a variation with our vote last time, but we'll hold off until that goes in front of the town council. Bob, your audio is still out, so I'm not sure what you're looking to say. I feel like you got to invest in shadow puppets. Charades.
Yeah.
Can't follow you, man. I'm sorry.
That's the quietest he's been in weeks.
Yeah.
I almost cracked the joke. All it takes to get Bob to stop talking is to have a Zoom call. But love you, man. I know.
It doesn't look very happy either.
No. Well, the lag is making it hard to lip read too. But I am looking at. If you want to send me a note, I can relay what you're saying, Bob. We can do this third person.
If he can text, he text you,
Yep.
something like that.
Yep. That works. All right. So beach stickers, we'll have those getting ready relatively soon. We are going to put the motion in front of the new town council, which leads me to just a quick welcome to Mike Burke, who is driving currently. Mike, it's great to have you join us as another town council member. Joe's been a great liaison, but we're also excited to have you involved.
I'm glad to be here, and I look forward to assisting Joe as much as I can, because certainly I can't fill his shoes and don't want to fill his shoes, and appreciate the opportunity. And part of my reason is my bachelor's degree is in recreation. So,
Well, you can't get on?
what's that?
No, that was Joe's talking to Bob. So keep going. You're good.
That's all. Thanks.
Again, it is great to have you on. Congratulations on joining the town council, and we appreciate you giving some time to us and look forward to feedback as we go forward. So all good.
Hey, Stu,
Yes.
Bob wants to know if he can go through me to discuss stuff with you.
Sure.
Okay, Bob, go. Oh, when you have something, you'll say something? Okay, all right, he doesn't know what's going on. Well, where are we on the agenda?
We are at under new business. We had the beach sticker piece, and then the one that I think he's probably interested in is potential realignment of employee roles and responsibilities.
Right.
Bob, what probably would make sense, because you and I have had a conversation, is let me frame out what you were suggesting, and then if I speak incorrectly, we can do a correction there, just to save some time. So in the past, the recreation coordinator role has been one that has, in theory, covered all of recreation, from managing the summer camp coordinator to the beaches. What Bob has advocated for is two separate things. One, potentially splitting that into two roles, where you have one person that is just a beach coordinator, which is really, I think, sort of what Sarah had focused on this year. And then the other side of it would be somebody that deals with fields and leagues, so that they would deal with an approval if, say, I'm just going to randomly pick one, Little League wanted to submit for field use. It would come to this person, and they would sign off or present it to the council. The distinction in there would be that if we had approved them at a previous time, unless there was a massive change to what their request was, I would advocate that that person has the ability to approve them. If it's somebody who has not come before the commission before, then it would go through a process where we review and we evaluate. And that would deal mostly with leagues, not with events. The events process would still probably come through us. So that's the first part to it. The other thing that Bob had advocated to me was the idea of decreasing the time frames for those positions. So instead of looking at them as a year-round role and handling events, putting it so that I'll just use the beaches person, would occur from about May 1st through probably, I don't know, end of September, Chris? Was that what you're thinking?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what that would mean is that it would give us a more focused window of time. And additionally, from a commission standpoint, the hiring of some of the staff prior to that, we would probably have to be maybe a little bit more active in. Just if there's anything, like if we wanted to start getting ads out there in January, February. So
Yep.
I don't know, Bob, did I miss anything if you want to relay through Joe? Nope. See you now.
Well, my concern too was job descriptions, going over the actual job description for all the positions, because I think there are a lot of things that are not being done that we should be doing, or the employees should be doing. And, we're paying them for a service, and I feel that, it's not being done. So I think we should maybe during this time off, during the Christmas break, write down some things, because I have some things that I'd like to see changed, write them down, and then maybe have a workshop where we can discuss them as a group. I've talked to Chris about it. I've talked to Stu. There are some things that really concern me, and I think that I'd like to see some changes made in the job description before we post the job application for the upcoming season. And when I mean Chris, I mean Chris Carter. I didn't mean Chris Romelin or I meant Chris Carter.
I'm starting to get the hang of it now. I think
I know.
the direction.
But, yeah, I know. So,
Chris
a
Carter anytime.
couple of things where, the gate attendants having cell phones, and they sit there and they play on their cell phones. People say to us, gee, we're paying this money, and they're just sitting there, they could be walking around picking up trash or doing something. That was one of the things. The other thing is, turning in the keys at the end of the season. Some of the gate attendants still have their keys from 2-3 years ago. They should be turned in at the end of the year, so that we don't have to go and make new keys every year, which costs us money. I mean, yeah, it's not a lot of money, but it's still a cost. And the other thing is, they have access to the bathrooms or the gatehouses during the course of the winter, where, if we need something or somebody needs to get something out of there, at least we have the keys. They're readily available to us. I know Mary Lou used to keep them in her office, but I don't know if that's been happening, if they've been turning them in at the end of the year or not.
Okay, I'll check with her because I don't think they have been.
Also, some kind of a cell phone or emergency phone for the lifeguard in case he gets in trouble, that he can contact the police department or somebody right away, whether it be a radio or a cell phone or whatever. I think that's something that we should look into.
Yep.
So, but I just think that, I know I got some things that I jotted down. If everybody just put their heads together, jot them down, and then we can just have like a workshop rather than spend, countless hours going over things, where if we just put them all together, and I'm sure we might see that they're all pretty much the same thing. We wouldn't have to spend as much time going over them if we all agree on some of them, and there's only a few. There's no big issues, just a few, that I think should be addressed. And the other two was, you mentioned about a second person to run the parks program would be any of the programs that we run, whether it be the canoeing or the surfboarding or the babysitting program during the summer. I mean, somebody just runs that one segment of the program would be better than trying to run everything. I just think that would be a lot easier too. And that's all I have to say.
Stu, you're muted.
Yeah, I realized that when it told me. Thank you, Zoom. Chris Cotta, just a quick question. If we wanted to utilize like a Google Doc, like if I posted an existing job description and everybody was able to make edits on that, is there anything in there that would be perceived as a open meeting violation?
That's a good question. That's a solicitor question I'm gonna have to ask.
Okay.
I know that Google Docs have been used before, but I'm not sure if they go from one person. The issue becomes like it's a reply all thing. It's almost like having a workshop without having a meeting. So let me ask Mike that on how we can get around that issue.
Okay. Because
Not that I'm trying to get around open meetings.
right. No, you just need an answer. I got it.
Right.
The alternative is I can take what I have so far and circulate it to each of the commission members, and
Okay.
everybody can make edits and then send it, figure out how to get it back to one place and consolidate it for discussion in an open meeting. I just want to make sure, I think we all in different places use shared documents. It's just easier, but I also want to be transparent in this.
No, I get it.
I also think, to your point, Joe, when you talk about turning the keys in at the end of the year, we have an operations manual that we kind of put together that never really got used. And I feel like as we're doing this in that working group, let's throw in that operations manual and have a larger discussion so they're all connected. Because I agree with you. I think there's a lot we can do just to tighten things up.
Yeah, and there's not a whole bunch of things, but just a couple of things that I think would really help, make it a lighter ship, so to speak.
Yep.
And other than that, I don't have anything else. I don't know if you got anything else on your agenda. Bob's taking pictures. Uh-oh.
Bob,
You're gonna Bob's
call
gonna
me at
call
the
me.
office. Call me at
Call
625,
Chris.
and I'll put you on speakerphone.
I'm still in favor of shadow puppets, frankly. I know.
Flashcards.
I have small children. I'm pretty good at the shadow puppets. We'll give Bob a minute here. I don't have anything else on my agenda in particular, but I did want to open up the opportunity if either you, Chris, or you, Rick, have something that you want to have brought up while Bob is frantically typing away.
I'm all set right now, Stu. Thank you.
Yeah, and Rick, I think I'll just bring up, if anybody hasn't seen Fogland Beach, Rick put up, with his team, put up some really good snow fencing. We supported some dunes. They did a bunch of work there, moving some sand around, all per the recommendations of the coastal resource team. It was really nice. This last big storm we had about 2 weeks ago, that big southwest storm. I don't remember what that was, but you could see
Bob?
parts of the road got washed out,
Hang on, I'm gonna put you on speaker.
and then other parts where they had done
All
their
right,
work
can you hear me now?
were sustained.
Yeah.
So really came out nice. So we'll see how that looks. And then in the spring, we'll be doing some dune grass planting. So we'll be looking for volunteers.
Very cool.
Tell me, I'll be there.
Nice.
Yeah, let us know when we can
Yeah.
promote that.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Bob.
So can you hear me?
Yes.
Just one other thing too, I'd like to bring up about on a job description is I think we need to have set hours put in there. This way here, we're not having people working all kind of hours that are not authorized.
Well, let's hit pause on that because I think it's going to be dependent on the individual, what their hours are going to be. So I'm a little bit, I get your point in looking at it from sort of the top down. I do think it's something that is a good discussion to have with the different employees. And for, say, like the beach manager, I would not want to be the one that says to the gate attendants, they're working X hours. I think with the beach, if we're going the road of having two positions, we set the expectations so that there is complete transparency with those people right at the beginning. And we say, like, look, to your point, Bob, these are the times that you're working. If you have any need to work outside of those times, you need to get approval. And so we have that outlined as part of the operations manual we do. Because I agree with you. I mean, we gotta have some clarity. I want to commend people because sometimes there's always a balance of those that have really strong work ethics and want to get things done, but it's also the legality of it. So we got to make sure we balance it properly. Good call. All right. We are at 7:01. Is there anything else that we need to address right now? Cool.
I just want you to know I got you the same thing I got you last year for Christmas. That's okay, right? I got you the same gift. You're not
I got it
upset
right
with
here.
that, right?
Right here.
Thank you. Make sure.
Well, on that note, I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with all of you. It's been a really difficult year, I think, for everybody. I specifically want to thank the folks that are actually employed by the town. Rick and Chris, thank you guys for continuing to support us as we move forward. I mean, this is well past your regular business hours, but thank you both. And that's all I've got. So can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. I got Bob gave the motion. Chris Romlin gave a second. All in favor, just wave as you're heading out.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Very